The United Nations, because it is not politically correct to talk about terrorism, because of the voting blocks, the overwhelming voting blocks that exist there, that forbid the United Nations from taking the necessary actions that are demanded by the UN Charter, because this is disrupting the international system. It's like the pirates off Somalia. It's like the terrorists who blow up school buses all over the world, who go after leaders, who assassinate, who kill, who threaten, who maim. And the United Nations was built on the premise that we would put an end to these kind of actions. Their failure even to define terrorism, and the failure of the media in America and around the world to act consistently, to stand up to the terrorists and to call them what they are, not to call them militants, not to find every other kind of adjective because they're afraid to say what they are and who they are. And it is not one people, it is not one religion, but tell the people who it is, who does it, who's behind them, who supports them. And I think then you'll be able to deal with them more effectively. Terrorists, by their nature, are cowards. They send other people's children to die. The way you deal with terrorists is to confront them. They never send their own children. They themselves always give up. They are cowards. And the only language they understand is one of strength and determination. They have said that they will win the war against global terror because they have will and determination, not the most modern weapons. The West, those who care about freedom, those who want to see their children live in a safer world, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, everybody wants that for their children. But they have to translate that concern into action. And that action means facing up to the global threat of terror. We have a responsibility to future generations. We have failed in that responsibility largely by not acting with the kind of determination that this requires. I think that defining terrorism for what it is a first step. Being clear in our textbooks, calling jihad some sort of a movement for reform or some sort of intellectual exercise not only distorts a religious concept, but undermines the war against jihad. And the first victims in that war are in fact Muslims. They're the ones who are on the front line day in and day out, as are other people later. So I think that this effort to get the United Nations to pay attention to the issue of terror, to define it, and then to act against it resolutely is vital.